Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. As you all know, my name is Kimberly, and today I'm going to be sharing about my learning experience from the past 9 months of working as an intern for the UW IT PMO. So at a high level, these are the topics I'm going to be covering during today's presentation. I'm first going to talk about 2 of the larger projects I've worked on during my internship. I'm then going to talk about my learnings from creating the monthly PRB reports. After, I'm going to discuss how I've applied my project management skills to my graduate school capstone project. I will then conclude with my major takeaways overall and take the time to answer any questions at the end. So let's move on to projects. The first major project I was assigned to work on was the Hub Balloon software implementation project. For those who are unfamiliar, Balloon is a virtual software event platform that the Hub procured in May 2021. This project was the first project I worked on where the project was already midstream. My goal, therefore, was to work backwards and figure out if this already procured software actually met UW standards and regulations, especially in terms of privacy and security. My responsibilities included setting up and collating meetings with various UW offices, such as privacy, security, procurement, and information access management. I also set up several meetings with Balloon and acted as a liaison between the vendor and the UW offices. Although Balloon sadly got bought out this past January and the Hub had to void their contract, I learned how to track down clues, ask appropriate questions to UW offices and vendors, and keep running documentation, all skills of which I hope to apply in the near future when working on a midstream project. For meeting with the privacy office, I also have a better understanding of what UW privacy regulations entail and how to fill out required documents, such as the privacy impact assessment. The second major project I worked on was enhancing the PMO website taxonomy and navigation system. I performed 5 usability tests with staff members outside the PMO and compiled a list of findings, recommendations, and user pain points. Jean and I then went through the list and made changes to the website accordingly. The most noticeable changes on the website are that there is now a request assistance from the PMO link on the homepage, and that the PMO staff page has been renamed to About Us. The major and minor portfolio reports can also now be found both on the project portfolio page and the PRB page. Lastly, there is now a tools tab on the tools and templates page that includes information about and links to Microsoft Project, Microsoft Visio, and Jira. And I'm going to move on to talking about portfolio reports. Every month, Jean and I produce a visual portfolio report of the major and minor projects for PRB to easily track and see the health and status of each project. This was my first time using ServiceNow or UW Connect and using Microsoft Project to create visuals. Additionally, Jean and I produced a video tutorial for future interns regarding how to create and format these portfolios. Normally, I create videos of explaining a subject to an audience, but this was my first time creating a video explaining how to actually perform a task or activity step by step. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about how I've applied my learnings to my capstone. I'm currently in the midst of wrapping up my capstone project for my master's program. For context, my project is sponsored by the UW School of Nursing, and my team and I were responsible for creating a nutritional app for early onset dementia patients. I was the PM for my team, and so each week I was responsible for setting up meetings, creating agendas, taking minutes, communicating with stakeholders, and producing a weekly timeline and Gantt chart to track our progress, all skills of which I've learned through this internship. In this last part of my presentation, I'm going to summarize my main takeaways that I hope to apply to my future career. The first thing, as you all know and do every day, is document everything. It's crucial to keep a running report so that you have information to refer to. The second thing is to communicate clearly and consistently. I don't think I've ever had to set up so many meetings or send so many back and forth emails in my life. So learning to communicate in a professional tone and manner was also something I learned from this internship. Thirdly, I learned to listen carefully. Sometimes it was hard to understand or keep track of who said what in a meeting, and so having an attentive and listening ear was important. Lastly, making meetings engaging by starting the meeting with friendly conversations or adding in a few jokes here and there to lighten the mood just made meetings a lot more fun and easier to get through. And now I just want to give everyone a huge shout out here. I just want to thank you for your mentorship, support, and guidance throughout the past 9 months. Thank you. Is there any questions?